Ready? Alright, what's up, y'all? Caesar again, Caesar Americanbully Kennels. Just wanted to share a few things, a few ideas that I have in my head. Everybody wants to start a kennel or have a breeding. Everyone is chasing the end result, focusing so much on, the glamorous image of having a kennel or having your dog's name out there, and basically focusing on all the end results or all the things that we all look at, and we don't take time to stop and think about what it really takes to get there. The hours late at night we get home from work, studying dogs, studying bloodlines, studying characteristics, studying what traits get handed down to what bloodline and what other bloodline doesn't carry those traits. Then, we get so caught up in, I'm gonna buy this dog, I'm gonna buy that dog, I'm gonna put them together, and that's my kennel. That's my foundation. That's what it is. That's it. I put these two together as bulletproof. So that means I should be able to X, $2,000, $3,000 for a dog and stud the dog out at a year old, year and a half. No one takes the time to stop and understand what a dog requires, what it needs, what it reacts to as a dog to function properly. We don't want to stop and take the time to be judged and criticized in what we want to do. Then, since we don't want to be judged and criticized on what we want to do, once we start doing it and we haven't taken those steps to be criticized and learn, then when we already take the steps forward and we're starting shit, we really don't want to hear it. Everyone needs to just stop, think about what they're doing, actually understand what a foundation dog is, or basically what the foundations of a dog are. Just because you spend, $1,500, $3,000 on the male and then get a bitch for $2,500, that is something that just happens once you have that end result, that kennel, that idea that you've been chasing and studying for so long and letting it grow and understanding it takes time for this to happen. Then you could start saying, yeah, I'm gonna get this bitch, add this into my program because I need to outcross something and it's gonna work well with what I'm doing, because by then you already know. But you guys out there are just starting and just starting to understand dogs, let alone understanding what it means to start a kennel or what it means to make a dog better. Everybody wants these wide spreads, these big chests, and say their dogs are functional. Meanwhile, if you study a dog's anatomy, the wide spread chest contributes to less function, contributes to less movement, or let's say a well-sprung. Have you guys even know what a sprung rib cage looks like? A well-sprung rib cage looks like. You've got these massive dogs with these big waistlines and these big, big rears that actually have bad angulation, bad hocks, bad, flanks. But yet you want to say your dog's functional, but at the same time your dog isn't carrying any characteristics to say that it's functional. Take time, to understand movement in canines. Take time to understand what contributes to your dog having good movement, what doesn't contribute to your dog having good movement. All you guys out here following the next guy because, he's got 2 more dogs than you, or listening to this guy because he's got, 1,000, let's say 10,000 Instagram followers. Everyone's following the hype, everyone's following the end result, but no one's stopping to grow themselves, to learn. How are you gonna, all you self-proclaimed breeders and self-proclaimed dog people, you guys aren't even at shows. Your dogs aren't being judged. Your dogs aren't being put on a pedestal. You're out here saying yourself that, you know, my dog is the best. You know, we all love our dogs. We all feel our dogs are the best. But if you ain't out there putting in the work, putting in the hours it takes to actually understand what it's going to take your dog or your program or even your knowledge to get somewhere, you know, you're wasting your time. You just, like I say, you're self-proclaimed. You know, and it seems like everyone's following those guys. You know, stop for a minute. The best dogs out there are most of the time just bought. They're not really bred. The people who are breeding them, you don't see them. You don't know what they look like. You know, you're just seeing the dog and the new owners. You know, so basically what I'm just trying to say with this is everyone needs to shut their mouth a little bit. You know, study. You know, because you're putting pictures of your dogs out here, you know, hyping them up, and you know, someone says something that the dog has a bad rear, and in your mind, you actually don't even know what a bad rear looks like or a good rear looks like. You know, so take time to study. Take time to understand yourself. Take time to better yourself, because if you don't better yourself and you don't have, you know, a care or you don't have the desire to learn, then, you know, you basically don't have a program. You can't say you have a program. Basically, you're doing what nature has already set forth for us. You put a male and a female together, they fucking have puppies. You know, that's common sense. You know, you're not doing anything. You know, like, take the time to learn. Take the time to accept criticism, because when you accept the criticism, you question it. When you question it, you learn. When you learn, you better yourself. When you better yourself, you better your dogs. When you better your dogs, you better your program. Take the steps. There's, you know, like they say, there's levels to this shit. It just don't happen. You know, stop following these false prophets. You know, these guys selling you fake dreams. These guys trying to do the same thing that the next person did. You know, just because they want to make the money and want that end result. You know, that's not what it's about. You know, you're making yourself suffer because you're just being stupid, and in the interim of that, your dog's suffering too, because, you know, they ain't out there being judged by judges and at shows, and, you know, they're just mediocre. Not even mediocre. Mediocre is too, I'm giving it too much, you know, that's too good of a word to use for your dogs, but, you know, just learn. You know, stop being closed-minded. You know, I know it's hard for a lot of people to understand that, but accept negativity, accept criticism, because that's the only way you'll know if you'll be better or if you're going to get better or not. All right, so see y'all out there, see y'all at the shows. Peace.